Hi there, I'm Tammy Flanagan with NARFE's Federal Benefits Institute. I'm here today to answer some pressing questions from our members. As a reminder, NARFE does not provide legal, financial planning, or tax advice or assistance. Let's go ahead and start with the question that came in from one of our members about life insurance. He says, I am considering retirement from federal service in 6 or 7 years, right? Let's hope he can hang on that long with the current downsizing. Although I previously waived my life insurance under FEGLI, I want to re-enroll in basic FEGLI and maintain it in retirement. To be eligible to carry the coverage into retirement, I do know that I have to have the coverage for at least the last 5 continuous years before I retire. Is there any way I can obtain this coverage? Well, it's a great question. And the key comment that he said in the question was he's not retiring for 6 or 7 years because, as you heard him say, he already knows he has to hold that coverage for 5 years. So if you're retiring soon, this isn't going to work. But if it's been more than a year since you waived your FEGLI and you still have another 5, 6, 7 years to work or more, you can re-enroll, even though you're not having a life event and even though there's not an open season. Because as we all know, those FEGLI open seasons are very few and far between. So if a whole year has passed since you waived your right to FEGLI, you can enroll if you provide medical evidence of your insurability at your own expense. To do that, you'll have to fill out a copy of Standard Form 2822, which is a request for life insurance. This is going to provide evidence of your insurability, and it must be signed by a physician or a healthcare provider. So as you know, normally you don't have to provide insurability when it's you're new hired or when it's an open season or a life event. This is when anybody can get FEGLI. But if you want to do it in this circumstance, you do have to provide evidence of your good health. So if the Office of Federal Employees Group Life Insurance, or OFEGLI, approves your request, you'll be automatically enrolled in basic life insurance. Suppose you already have basic life insurance. In that case, you'll have 31 days from the approval of the form to also add option A, which is the standard option worth $10,000 death benefit, or option B, which is the multiples of your salary that you can elect up to 5 times your basic pay. So not only can you re-enroll in basic life, but you can also add option A and option B. Now, some of you know there's an option C. Option C is not available unless there's a qualifying life event or unless you're a new hire or an open season. So option C is family coverage, and that's going to be restricted to those certain circumstances. But the other ones are available if you can pass the medical underwriting. Office of FEGLI will notify your agency's Human Resource Office, and your coverage will take effect on the first day you're in a pay status after FEGLI's approval. That's if you're approved, right? If you're not approved, that could be a different story. As an active federal employee, if you have experienced a qualifying life event such as marriage, divorce, birth of a child, spouse's death, or adoption of a child, you do have another option to select or increase FEGLI coverage up to the maximum coverage based on your qualifying life event. And in that case, it's without the evidence of your insurability. Now, to elect coverage after a life event, you have a form to fill out called a Standard Form 2817, which is the life insurance election form. You have to do that within 60 days of that qualifying life event to be eligible for this, and you'll submit that form to your personnel office. So you can see OPM's website, opm.gov/healthcare-insurance/life events. And that's where you can find more information, or just go to opm.gov and click on insurance, and you'll find the link there to life insurance information. Although employees may enroll in life insurance during an open enrollment period, as I said, this is rare and it doesn't occur regularly. In fact, the last open enrollment wasn't held since all the way back to 2016 in September, and that coverage took effect in September of 2017. So it's been quite a while since there's been an open enrollment, and I don't know of any being planned anytime soon. Some federal employees who leave federal service mid-career and then they return, they will have a new 60-day opportunity to sign up for FEGLI when they're rehired. You can reduce or cancel your FEGLI life insurance at any time. You don't have to have medical underwriting. There doesn't have to be an open season or a life event. You simply fill out Standard Form 2817 and just sign up for what you want to keep. So if you're dropping option B, you just want to keep basic, just sign up for basic using that same form you used when you enrolled. Also, remember, you can change your beneficiaries for FEGLI anytime by submitting another form, Standard Form 2823, which is the designation of beneficiary form. You submit that to your Human Resource Office, or if you're retired, you send it right to OPM. And this address for OPM's retirement office is actually on page 3 of the form. So I hope that answered the question about re-enrolling in life insurance or increasing your life insurance. So till next time, thanks for listening.